I just have one question and one question only. What am I supposed to do on Fridays? There's 7 Fridays until the first episode of Loki. What am I supposed to do? I mean, I guess it's better than last year because we literally had 1 year with no MCU project. But I wasn't a fan back then, so I'm gonna give the same warning that I did on my WandaVision video, which is I'm not a die-hard fan, which means I've only seen the MCU movies, and that also means that I don't understand most of the things that are happening, and I also don't care to understand. If that bothers you, I suggest you to watch another video. I never gave spoiler warnings because like, what were you expecting when you click on the video? For me to just talk about grass? Jesus. And just like my WandaVision video, this is just me gathering my thoughts. This is no very well scripted deep dive video like some of the videos that I've done before, because you know, this is gonna go as good as it's gonna go. So let's just start. First thing I'll say is that every episode felt like it was a fucking movie. Like, it felt like we had 6 different movies based on the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and I could not be any more happy. I was a little bit worried about the MCU shows because I feel like, well, I don't really watch superhero shows, but I feel like action doesn't really translate the same. It goes in movies than it goes on shows, because it's just the build up is different, and the fact that you have to cut it out and you have to keep the hype, it's just harder. So I was a little bit worried about the shows, but I ended up loving the show. It was amazing, and I actually prefer to, what the fuck was that? I actually prefer this show over WandaVision, probably because of Bucky. Bucky is one of my favorite characters from the MCU. You didn't see that one coming, huh? I'm a sim for Bucky and Loki and Peter Parker and Black Widow, and yeah, I enjoyed it a bit more also because I care for the characters more than I did with WandaVision. What I love about these MCU shows is that they're giving these side characters their time to shine, and the time for us to go through, you know, their life, like their background. And I think it's amazing because you can't really connect with these characters on the movies, because in the movies they're usually just there to help build up the main character. Like in Captain America, like, I never really cared for Sam because he was kind of there to build up on Steve Rogers' character, and I mean, I still care for Bucky because Sebastian Stan, but you know what I'm trying to say? So in this show, it gives you so much background and it makes you care for their stories. And now Sam is one of my favorite characters as well. So let's talk about Sam now that we're here. So first thing I have to say is the wings. When I watched the trailer for the Falcon and Winter Soldier, the minute we see Sam flying, like, the minute I saw this, I couldn't unsee it. His wings look like, you know the golden snitch from Harry Potter? He looked like a red and silver Harry Potter snitch. And I just can't unsee it. It was really, really annoying. And when he has the Captain America costume in the last episode, he looks even more like the fucking snitch because of the shield on his... I'm gonna stop talking. The first fight scene in the first episode was so, like, I was already excited for the show, and then you put me that fight scene and I'm just like I said, it felt like it was a movie. Like, it put my expectations way higher than it already was. The role for him to become Captain America was so interested from him, you know, turning down the mantle and putting in a fucking museum, which obviously he kind of regrets that decision the minute we see John Walker with the fucking shield. But you know, the way that he gave up the mantle because he misses his friend and he doesn't want to, you know, kind of take his place. And then within the episodes, like working himself up to finally become that Captain America that we all know and love, and become an even better version of this Captain America and proving Isaiah wrong. I don't know, I loved it personally. I love that we got to see him. Like, I really like that we got to see him, you know, working on himself, working towards the mantle rather than just from the first episode, bam, he's Captain America. You know what I mean? His new costume was... I loved it. I saw a few people on Twitter being kind of disappointed the way they revealed the costume, because in episode 5, the final shot when Sam opened up the la maleta, suitcase or briefcase. I don't know why my brain glitched like that. The episode ends with him opening up the briefcase, which obviously has the costume in it, and then, you know, we have to wait a week, and then in the next episode, after a few scenes, we finally see him in the costume. And obviously, if you're binge watching like I did, the reveal was better because you are watching it immediately after. But if you didn't rewatch episode 5 before watching episode 6, then I can see why it could have been a bit disappointing. I'm not a big fan because I'm just not a big fan of a lot of colors and white, but I still really like the costume and it just looks really great on him. Let's talk about Bucky, because I have a lot of things to say about him. So if Bucky is going to therapy, maybe I should go to therapy. I was really happy that Bucky made a friend, but the fact that Hydra made him kill his friend's son. Oh, other thing that people were disappointed was in the last episode, his final amend was to tell Nikajima about, you know, him killing his son. And the people were disappointed at the way Bucky told him, because we didn't get to see Nikajima's reaction. And although I can see why it can feel that way, personally, I don't think the point of that scene was to see how Nikajima was gonna react, because I mean, Nikajima is obviously not gonna be excited about hearing this dude that has been hanging out with him for a few weeks or months, I don't know, telling him that he killed his son. He's obviously not gonna be happy about it. So that's a given. So why would you want to see that reaction? For me, I think that scene was important for Bucky. It has a way to make amends, you know, to fulfill his character arc. So that scene for me was more about Bucky finally breaking free, rather than seeing Nikajima's reaction. A few scenes after, we see Bucky outside of the restaurant looking through the window to Nikajima, and we can see by his expression that obviously Bucky, you know, that they're not friends anymore, and so why are we... Yeah, I don't get it. Talking about breaking free, episode 4, Bucky in Wakanda, crying, and Ayo saying, "You're free now." If I was a simp before, I unlocked a whole nother level of simping. Like I mentioned, Bucky is one of my favorite characters. Part of it is because of Sebastian Stan, obviously, but I really connected to his character because of everything that he goes through. It's really hard not to feel bad for him, and I obviously want to see him get better. So in the show, they dedicate a lot of time on him trying to, you know, go into therapy, trying to, you know, remember the man he was before he was brainwashed, and trying to, I wouldn't say shut down the Winter Soldier, but to, you know, separate himself and finally taking a break and stop, you know, and finally start living, essentially. I'm not good at analyzing people, but if I cared for Bucky before, I care even more now. And I'm so excited to see him as the White Wolf in Black Panther. I want to see him moving forward when, I don't know, when we're gonna see him next, Captain America 4 or Black Panther. Whenever we'll see him, I'm just excited to just move on with that. Also, in the final episode, there's a moment, it's just like just a little moment. The whole fight scene is over. The girl that I forgot her name is dead. One of the guys that were in a band that Walker and Bucky saved tells Bucky, "Thank you for saving us." And like the look on Bucky's face and him saying "you're welcome," the look of his face was so rewarding, I guess. He really needed that. Something I didn't expect from this show was to hate Captain America and love Zemo. Let's talk about John Walker for a little bit. Obviously, I hated his character. I don't think there's one person that didn't hate him, and his character is for you to hate him. I also liked him. Like, I like who he was, because the distinction between him and Steve Rogers, you know, Steve Rogers was a good man. The serum doesn't make you a good man. He already was a good man, and that's why he was a good man after the serum. Like, it just makes you more of yourself. That's what they say on the show, I think. And Walker, obviously, I wouldn't say that he wasn't a good man, but he was different. He's built different. And his ambition and his wanting of being Captain America and like the white savior complex, and kind of overtook him trying to, you know, prove a point to people and to himself. His insecurities kind of overtaken when he took the serum. So I don't know, I didn't hate him. And obviously after that ending credit scene, and after that a scene in the last episode with Valentina Allegra de Fontaine, which we'll talk about her a little bit, but I'm really excited to see him again and actually know what the fuck does US agent mean. And the cheap ass shield, dude, in that post-credit scene when he was making his own shield, like, he went nuts. Then in the fighting moments in the last episode, he had just one job. He wanted to be Captain America, and he did everything to be Captain America, although it's not the Captain America we wanted. Talking about Zemo, the best part of the show. The thing about the flag smashers is that I kind of understand what they wanted to do. Like, imagine if the blip happens in real life and, you know, half of the universe is swipe out, which I don't think that would be such a bad thing, you know what I mean? But, you know, having to adjust to living with just half of the people that are left. 5 years later, they're back. So now you have to readjust to how things were when the things that are now. And it's just, I understand their cause. I don't agree with what they were trying to do, but you gotta say, they had a point. Everything that had to do with the Dora Milaje, I was so excited about. So let's talk about the things that I didn't understand. And if someone is so kind to, you know, explain it to me on the comments. There was one person who explained the whole Vision and White Vision in my WandaVision video. I really hope this person sees this video and explain these things to me, because I would gladly appreciate it. Valentina Allegra de Fontaine, who the fuck is she? I don't know who she is. I don't understand what her point is, but I already love her. I know that she was supposed to be introduced first in Black Widow, but because Black Widow was delayed, things happens. I hope that when Black Widow, I'm gonna understand more about her, but if anyone cared to explain to me her point, her job, what she's supposed to do, the whole US agent thing, and Sharon. Here's the thing, I never cared about Sharon on the Captain America movies because I always saw her as the love interest. I know that she's more than the love interest. I know she has the thing with, I don't know, SHIELD, the CIA, whatever it was. I understand, but that's the way I saw her on the movies. In the show, I liked her because it seemed like she was a bigger character than I thought she was. So I was like, woohoo! But then, ending credit scenes, I don't understand. And people on Twitter are saying, oh, is she a Skrull? What the fuck is a Skrull? The show was really fun to watch, and I personally enjoyed it more than WandaVision because I care more about the stories in here. But I mean, the chemistry between Sam and Bucky is unbelievable, and I mean, it's exactly what I expected and more. Only have to thank Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan for this, and the people in Marvel, to see that the connection that these two people had, Anthony and Sebastian, during the amount of press tours that they had to do for all the movies, they realized that they have chemistry, they have connection, maybe we should put these chaotic people in a show. As always, I forgot to mention a few things, so here we go. Torres, I hope to see him soon again, whenever, but I need to see him, and I'm glad that he's not dead. The fact that John Walker, a guy that definitely doesn't deserve the title of Captain America, is the first one to get blood on the shield when Steve Rogers had the mantle for I don't know how many years, and he never put blood on the shield. I wish we could have seen this like on a theater, because I would imagine everybody's reaction gasping like oh my God, did that just happen? Like I said about Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan having so much chemistry, it really transferred to the show because the show was so funny, so naturally funny. Because I mean, I spent hours watching their interviews, because they're two very funny people. They're co-workers. Another thing, Anthony literally only follows two people on Instagram. And one of them is an organization. The other one is Sebastian Stan. I just think it's really funny. I love their friendship. I want a friendship like that. The overall show, I personally did enjoy it. Within every episode, I was hyped. There was no one episode that disappointed me or that I was like, well, I feel like the only one was the first episode, but I still really love it. There were people that were disappointed within the final episode, which I can see why you were disappointed, but with the amount of limitations that you have when making a TV show, and also this is, I think The Falcon and Winter Soldier was supposed to be the first MCU show. The amount of pressure that puts on you to make an actual good show and to make it canon and to have people, casual watchers of MCU like me to watch the show. I feel like they did a pretty damn good job, and I'm just excited to see more from these two guys. I want to talk a little bit about John Walker. When he took the serum and Lamar was killed, and he went crazy and killed Carly's best bud, and the actor did such a great job. Dude, my migraine is fucking killing me. Why do I always film when I'm sick? I don't get it. Every time I have to film, I'm sick. The thing with Sam, his monologue in the last episode was so inspiring, and he basically told the senator to either fuck himself or make some changes, and I'm glad that the senator did that. And what Sam did for Isaiah to, put a memorial on him on the museum, and it's just, dude, I love this show. I don't understand why people are hating. Let me know down your final thoughts, and if you want to explain to me the things that I mentioned earlier, I would gladly appreciate it. I'll see you guys soon, and now I'm going to go and lay down because I'm about to faint. Bye.